So, in today's video, guys, we'll be ranking Premier League clubs in terms of my predictions of where they will finish. So, if you enjoy content like this, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. So, guys, the way this is going to be done is I'm going to be ranking teams from 20th to first in the Champions, and I'm going to start off with Ipswich in 20th place. Why have I put them here? I just don't think they have the quality to stay up. Gary O'Neill, obviously Kieran McKenna was the manager last year. It's a very changed team from what got promoted. Daisy Maid is a good signing for them, but apart from that, I don't see them doing much. Fulham, I think the reason I've put them here, they're usually a stable team, but they've had a lot of turnover this year, and I think Marco Silva leaving, Jimenez leaving, there's a lot of uncertainty, Harry Wilson as well, a lot of creativity they're losing there, and that's why I have put them in 19th place. In 18th I've put Newcastle. People will be like, well, Adam, why the fuck are you putting Newcastle there? Well, essentially what it is their turnover is crazy. I mean, losing Eddie Howe, who's a proven manager, to this guy who's managed in the Saudi League. Wow, big whoop. Another one is they've lost players. Guimaraes, Tonali, Gordon. The list goes on, and they've not replaced them. So that's why I have put them in 18th. But they're not that far away from staying up, in my opinion. But I just think the teams who are regulars will go down. I think the teams who actually come up will do quite well, but we'll get into that. The next team I'm going to talk about is... So we've got teams from 17th to 13th, and in 17th place I'm going to go with Hull. This is because I think they've recruited quite well. Jens Dahls a very good signing. A couple of Turkish players as well, because obviously their ownership's for Turkey. They like to kind of flood that, but they've kept their core players like Ollie McBurney. I think he was really good in the Premier League. I think he'll be good this season. He was great in the Championship last season. And yeah, Crystal Palace, I've put them in 16th place. The reason I've put them in 16th place is because of Oliver Glasner leaving. I think that's a massive for them in terms of they just will be very unstable, and they've not... I don't think they've signed that well, in my opinion. I don't think they've signed that well, but apart from that, they've done okay. Coventry in 15th, on the other hand, they've signed very well. Seen a couple of French players, and players who are maybe Premier League level or near enough it, because their squad's actually quite good already. Mendy's a great signing from the Spanish team. And yeah, I think that will be quite a good setup. Sunderland, I put them in 14th. This is because of, I just think, the fact of you balancing European football and playing Premier League football is going to be, and they've not made signings. I don't even think they have made a signing or spent any money. So they're putting a lot of trust, or they just don't have that money to spend. It's one of the two. And 13th Forest, I think Oliver Glasner, great appointment. I think they have the players to go towards mid-table, but I just don't think they will get that. I think Anderson's a big loss. Keeping Gibbs White is obviously quite good, but they just need to keep doing what they're doing, and we'll move on to 12th to 8th. This is teams that are between 12th and 8th. Obviously, you can see I'm doing it on the table. And I'm going to start off with Brighton. Brighton are one of the clubs at the moment that you don't really know what they're going to do. Obviously, Tony Bloom's done great in England to get them where they are. Bailey going to Man United. I probably butchered that name. And they're just... I've not seen any recruits. I've went like, wow. But then they do offer a lot of surprises. Brentford, obviously, not much to say about them. They've recruited okay, but I just think they're just mid-table all over them. Leeds, on the other hand, have signed quite well. They've signed a couple of good players from abroad, and I mean, Harry Wilson, I think that's a great signing on a free. And yeah, Everton on the other hand, I think they'll finish ninth because they've kept in Dye great. They had to. The only thing I will say is with Everton, they need to sign their right back. It's just Hayden Hackney's a great signing as well for Everton. I just think they need to do that wee tiny bit more in regards to the transfer market. And then 8th place finally we have Bournemouth. My reasoning is to this because obviously Areola left, and they definitely have the squad to finish top 8 in the Premier League. It's just whether Micah Rose will be able to do that. His style of play is quite Jenna press. It's the modern German kind of way. So it'll be very different to Areola, but I still think they will get the job done. I like Alex Scott. I'm surprised maybe he didn't get a move this summer. Evan Nielsen, I like him. Truffet, the left back. There's a lot of players that do stand out. I think Truffet will have a very big season. It's 7th place all the way to 1st. I know this video's got shorter, guys, but it's because there's 20 teams, so I'm trying to talk as quick as possible. I might not go into depth, but I'll be going into depth more across my TikTok pages and stuff like that. But we're going to start off with 7th, and I think Manchester City. Obviously, Enzo Maresca came in to replace Pep Guardiola. They've lost Rodri, and they've lost Bernardo Silva. They've lost a lot of big characters, and I think that's going to derail them, because even last season they were a bit characterless last season, and I just think they've got... I liked Enzo at Chelsea, but I just don't think he's suited for a big club that is like wanting to win trophies constantly. I might be proven wrong, but I just don't see it happening. Aston Villa, I've put them in 6th. Again, they've had high turnover, but Unai Emery's a very good manager. He's a very good manager, and that's why I think he will probably get the better of most managers in the league. They've recruited obviously that Japanese goalie, very good signing. They've signed a couple of players, but I still think they need more. I still think they need more in that midfield. Obviously losing Tielemans is not great. Konza is leaving as well. As I said, high turnover. But Spurs on the other hand in 5th place, obviously just make that Champions League spot. Doesn't say in this wee thing, but it will say it in general. The signings they've made, Tonali, Fernandes, obviously looks like they're going to sign Savinho for Man City. I don't think he's worth that much, but I think it's still a good signing. Marmoush as well, very good signing in my opinion. Van Hecke, Sensei, they've recruited very well and smartly, and it looks like they've abandoned that model of low wages and still try to call themselves a big club. I don't see, no offence to Tottenham fans, I still don't see it as a big club unless you've won consecutive titles, and I just think you're a franchise club at the moment, if you get what I mean, like as in the franchise is bigger than actually what the club's done on the pitch. That might be harsh, but that's the way I see it. 4th place, the Champions League spot I've went with Liverpool. Due to them being Areola, they've lost Salah. Obviously Van Dijk's getting older. They've not recruited that well this summer. They've recruited okay. Obviously that centre back, the big French centre back Jacquet, coming in quite... I wonder if he'll do better than Kanate did. Obviously he's away at Real Madrid as well. Curtis Jones is leaving to go Inter, so it's a transition season. But I don't think he'll get time, so I think he needs to get off to a good start. But I think Liverpool would be happy with top 4 anyway. Man United, Carrick, I think they've signed very well in the midfield. Santos, Tielemans, Vilea from Brighton, I think that's how you say his name. And but I still think they're very short at centre back and left back, in my opinion, and a striker. But then I think they need a more versatile. I'm not saying to go and get Alvarez because that would not make sense, But I mean like a versatile striker like Alvarez, you know, can play in the wing, can play striker, just to get that bit of variety. But then Rashford coming back is a good positive for them. This one's surprising, going to be surprising for most, but in second place I've put Chelsea. There might be a bit of bias in this, but Xabi Alonso, he's so proven as a manager of what he's done at Leverkusen, and some of the signings Chelsea have made have went under the radar. Morgan Rogers, Lacroix, they've just signed very well. There's not much to say about apart from that, and I just think the way they've done in pre-season, it's not maybe appealing, but I just think when the real stuff gets done, Xabi Alonso's going to show why he's a Premier League manager. Probably a club like Liverpool should have went to go and get him, because I went down to Liverpool in January and that's all Liverpool fans wanted. Xabi Alonso, Xabi Alonso, Xabi Alonso. Didn't want anybody else. Real Madrid tainted his career, yes, but that wasn't his fault. That's just egos. But there's a lot of egos in this Chelsea dressing room, so it'll be interesting to see how he balances it. And yeah, but my champions are, as you can see on screen, Arsenal. You know, I would normally like to do a drum roll, but they've signed amazingly well. Therese from Club Rouge is a great signing to replace Trossard. I wasn't always a big fan of Trossard. Obviously signing Bruno Guimaraes is such a great signing. Konza, but I still think they need that superstar player to take them to the next level. But that's my predictions in summary. I know this video was a bit quicker, but I will be doing more Premier League content as the season continues. But if you do enjoy stuff like this, remember to leave a like, smash that subscribe button, go and follow my socials. I do live streams playing Pro Clubs and other games as well. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and see you on the other side.